This is ABC 7 News at 6.
A Washington County woman wants her murder trial moved to another location. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. Kaylee Brackett was convicted of murder in the death of 43-year-old Kimberly Neptune, who was found dead in her home with nearly 500 stab wounds back in April of 2022. Maine's highest court vacated that conviction, and a new trial was ordered. Brackett's lawyer says pretrial publicity and rumors in Washington County would make it impossible for Brackett to get a fair trial there.
In this case, the level of ill will and vindictiveness against Kaylee by members of the potential jury pool in Washington County is frankly over the top. The exhibits in this case demonstrate that from even the days prior to Kaylee's arrest, community members were pointing fingers, spreading false accusations.
Assistant Attorney General Katie Sibley says the publicity for this case was no different from any other murder case in Maine, and there is no need to move the trial. The judge says they are taking the matter under advisement and will make a decision at a later date. A Clinton man has pleaded guilty to murder in connection with a fatal shooting in Waterville last year. 53-year-old Richard Hatt had been accused of shooting a man to death in a Waterville parking lot back in July of 2025. He was arrested following the shooting on Highwood Street. The victim, 47-year-old Stephen Killam of Fairfield, was found deceased inside a vehicle at a nursing home parking lot. According to the Attorney General's office, Hatt will be sentenced on July 10th. Well, switching gears now, our Callie Warren is standing by live with an update on the ranked choice voting tabulations for the primary election races. That tabulation going on now in Augusta. Callie, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Beth. Well, the folks behind me here have been hard at work for several days now. We've been trying to keep all of our viewers really informed throughout the process. We have seen a few delays here. We've been bringing some details on that yesterday, the day before that, and then today there have been, some small issues with towns not necessarily having the correct count of all of those ballot tabulations. Tonight, though, it is all expected to come to a close. Right now, the staff at the Secretary of State's office is working on some of those final proofs, making sure that they have everything just right. We do know that they will be issuing a 2-hour warning when they're about 2 hours away from announcing those final results. We have not received that heads up quite yet, but we are expecting to hear it at really any moment now. So we will be bringing updates on the process as they become available. But for now, Beth, back to you.
Thank you, Callie. We'll continue to monitor that. Well, while primary voting concluded last Tuesday, the ranked choice process, as we've been saying, has stretched well into this week. And as we continue to await results, our Grace Blanchard has more on how we got here and what comes next.
A string of close contests has defined this primary cycle. In the Democratic race for governor, no candidate reached the 50% threshold on election night, needed to avoid ranked choice counting. Dr. Nirav Shah held a tight lead with 26.8% of the votes, followed by Hannah Pingree, Troy Jackson, and Shenna Bellows, all in the 20 percentile. The Republican race had more of a clear leader, with Bobby Charles holding nearly 38% of the votes, followed by Ben Midgley and Jonathan Bush, who were both around 20%. However, that contest was also sent to ranked choice tabulation after no candidate secured a clear majority. The nominees of those races will battle it out for the Blaine House this November. In the closely contested 2nd Congressional District race, the Democrats were separated by just a few percentage points following election night. Joe Baldacci held a lead with 31.6% of the votes, closely followed by Matt Dunlap at 29.2% and Jordan Wood at 28.9%. Since the election, Democratic candidate Paige Loud has conceded, leaving Baldacci, Dunlap, and Wood hoping for a chance to face off against former Governor Paul LePage, the uncontested Republican nominee. Election officials have been working to produce results, but work is still ahead, as the Secretary of State's office has already announced 3 recounts are scheduled for next week for multiple legislative races, and more could be coming.
In ranked choice voting races, candidates who receive one of the top 3 rankings at the end of the penultimate round of counting may request a recount. Recounts must be filed with the Secretary of State within 5 business days of the results being announced. In studio, Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
As this process unfolds, Republican gubernatorial frontrunner Bobby Charles addressed the media today, saying the ranked choice system is impractical and unconstitutional. Take a listen.
In short, the RCV system has led to chaos, confusion, distrust, and now, in the most recent primary election, lots of unnecessary nail-biting, particularly on the Democrat side, for a week and a half of uncertainty. Bluntly, Maine voters deserve better. This system just does not work.
Charles vowed that if elected governor, he would do away with ranked choice voting. Switching gears now, last week, Senator Angus King worked with members of the Armed Services Committee to draft the National Defense Authorization Act. It passed the committee with bipartisan support, and the final bill was just released publicly. King says the bill funds the country's national security assets around the world, including here in Maine. The bill contains authorization for an additional destroyer, the president's budget only funding one. Bath Iron Works will have the chance to compete for the contract to build that ship. The president's budget also contained a proposal to build warships in shipyards in Korea and Japan. The National Defense Bill does away with that provision and limits overseas building to auxiliary apparatus like cargo ships or tankers, but not warships like the ones built in Maine. Other aspects of the bill will also benefit Maine.
One of the most important things in the bill is a significant pay raise for our troops, which they deserve. And I think that was one of the most important provisions in the bill. Continued support for Ukraine is in the bill. Many other provisions that benefit not only the national defense and security of the United States, but also provisions that will be beneficial to Maine.
Well, there's also support for a ground radar system at the former Loring Air Force Base, bringing additional economic development to Aroostook County. King says there's also research funding for the University of Maine and other Maine-centric provisions. Well, for some, moose hunting in Maine is a family affair, and it all starts with the famous Moose Lottery. Our Doug Banks has what you need to know ahead of this Saturday's big event.
The Maine Moose Permit Lottery is a time-honored tradition, combining the excitement of being surrounded by fellow outdoor enthusiasts. And if you're lucky, booking you a one-way ticket to a lasting memory.
It's extremely popular, in-state and out-of-state as well.
The 45th Annual Moose Lottery is being held at the Acton Fairgrounds in Acton between this coming Friday and Sunday. Starting at 1 p.m. on Saturday, the names of the lottery winners will be read.
And it's probably going to take several hours.
And that's because 75,000 people this year applied for a chance to secure one of only 3,700 moose hunting permits.
If you're not able to, come to the fairgrounds, we'll have the results posted on our website by 6 p.m. that night.
For those who do plan on attending, there'll be things to do in the meantime.
There's going to be a midway there with rides for kids, food vendors, games.
In the lottery's 45-year history, one thing has changed while another has remained constant. What's changed is that the names are no longer drawn out of a chicken wire tumbler at the Augusta Armory.
And back then, it was only 1,000 names. The moose population has grown since then. The popularity of the hunt has grown as well.
What hasn't changed is the feeling of securing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A moment described best by Gary Farrell, who spoke with us back in 2023 after winning a permit.
It's been a long time coming. I've put in nearly 20 years and never drawn my own permit, so it's really nice.
Doug Banks reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All righty, folks, well, let's hit pause now, peek outside, and get a first check of our forecast.
Tonight's first weather is brought to you by Tick and Mosquito Guard. We stop ticks and mosquitoes, now serving Washington, Hancock, and Penobscot counties. We are pet safe and have eco-friendly options available. Call today for a free quote, 207-263-3421. Taking a look at temperatures for today. Holy moly. We were a lot cooler than we were at yesterday. We're barely getting into those 60s. Fortunately, we're just going to be hanging out those for the rest of the day. And then we have warmer weather on the way for us tomorrow as well. Taking a look at radar, of course, we've been dealing with rain showers and thunderstorms all day today. And that's going to continue for much of the rest of the day today into overnight hours. And we'll move out of our area overnight tonight. Clouds will take over, and then we'll have some more rain showers possible for us for tomorrow once again, and then once again for us on Saturday. For tonight, temperatures are going to be hanging out right in those low 60s.
Thank you, Anna, and there is much more ahead. Stay with us.
Graham Plattner blamed women for getting raped. Who says something like that? Plattner said women should take some responsibility for themselves and not get so effed up they wind up having sex with someone they don't mean to. What's wrong with this guy?
Plattner said to avoid rape, women should act like an adult for F's sake. He's an awful person.
Graham Plattner is dangerous.
I would never vote for Graham Plattner.
Pine Tree Results PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the Cross Insurance Center. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, swim spas, and saunas in the region, with over 50 spas and up to 50% off this weekend at the Cross Insurance Center. Visit hottubshow.com.
Come in and visit AMHG Works, Bangor's #1 gift shop, located at 36 Springer Drive and the Rennie's Plaza. We have special gifts for you, your furry companion, and that special someone you are in need of a gift for. It's worth a trip in for unique American-made gifts. Here at AMHG Works, everything is American-made, and we are open 7 days a week for your convenience. American-made home goods. We look forward to seeing you.
Fathers play a special role in people's lives. And this Father's Day, ABC7 and Fox 22 want to help you show your dad how much he is appreciated with a special Father's Day giveaway. Register to win prizes for some great local businesses. Our special Father's Day promotion is brought to you by Diversified Inc. in Bangor, Brown Appliance and Mattress in Ellsworth, Herman Meadows Golf Club. All you have to do is go to our contest page on foxbangor.com and register to win.
Mainly Tacos Dos is located on Main Street in Bangor, several doors down from the main Discovery Museum. It's a place for great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Check out our menu online. Mainly Tacos Dos, 64 Main Street, Bangor.
How you feeling tonight? It's CMA Fest. With sizzling performances by Lainey Wilson, Luke Bryan, Jelly Roll.
Are y'all with us tonight?
And rockin' collaborations. Russell Dickerson featuring Fetty Wap, Gretchen Wilson featuring Ella Langley, and more. Plus, the can't-miss reunion of Florida Georgia Line, the music event of summer.
Let's go CMA Fest!
Presented by SoFi, June 25th on ABC, next day on Hulu.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Welcome back. In other local news, there could be a cap to any future lodging built in Bar Harbor. The town's planning board is proposing a 12-unit cap primarily in the area of Main Street and Cottage Street, meaning no new hotels with more than 12 units could be built in that area. Planning Director Michelle Gagnon told the board members a 30-unit cap in those zones might be better.
The economic driver of Bar Harbor is lodging. A lot of other activities, or I say businesses, are basically in the hotel and benefiting from the lodging.
A lodging moratorium that went into effect in November of 2024 is set to expire this July. There will be a public hearing on the proposed changes July 1st. A Down East community has rallied to preserve a resource some of its most vulnerable residents rely on. Our Alex Schley tells us how a community-wide effort secured the future of the Friendship Cottage.
Earlier this month, the Friendship Cottage officially took ownership of its home in Blue Hill. The cottage opened nearly 2 decades ago and remains the only respite care program in Hancock County. For years, the program operated under Down East Community Partners. But last fall, the organization collapsed following financial and operational challenges. While the program itself was taken over by the Aroostook County Action Program, the future of the building remained uncertain as liens were filed against the property.
We learned in the middle of October that we were going to, that they were going to put the building that houses Friendship Cottage on the market.
Supporters had less than 6 months to raise $700,000.
I know I was worried. Without this, I wouldn't have any way of getting around, getting out and meeting people. I would be stuck at home and that's not good. I can only talk to my cat so long.
So the group began fundraising.
We raised all the money in pledges and actual donations by the middle of April, and we had put an offer on the property in March, early March, and we closed on the property on June the 5th.
Now, people like Janet, who has been coming to the Friendship Cottage for 16 years, can continue to benefit from the program for years to come.
I wouldn't know what to do without it.
And officials say safeguards are now in place to ensure the property continues serving the community for generations.
We have a clause in there, a covenant, that if for any reason that they don't have the program anymore, that this building will be kept for the people of Blue Hill.
In Blue Hill, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, don't go anywhere, folks. We have sports and your full forecast just ahead.
Graham Plattner called rural Maine stupid and racist.
You're calling me stupid and racist?
Who says something like that?
Plattner said cops are bastards, all of them. Graham Plattner has no respect for law enforcement.
Graham Plattner said some lobstermen are absolutely terrible people.
Graham Plattner, you got it absolutely wrong.
It disgusts me.
Graham Plattner would be a big embarrassment for me.
I would never vote for Graham Plattner.
Graham Plattner? No way.
Pine Tree Results PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You build more than projects. You build what communities rely on. When the job site runs on results, put Kubota to work. Backed by expert service and support from your local Kubota dealer. Right now, bring home select Kubota KX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $7,000.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor.
This spring, invest in your nest with the County Federal Credit Union. Your home has grown in value season after season. With the county's 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, you can borrow up to your credit limit over 10 years with interest-only payments over those 10 years, 10-10. And then you can stop and smell the roses, soak up the sun, and invest in your nest. The 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, the County Federal Credit Union, countyfcu.org.
Still getting glitched by cable internet? Enough already. Fidium is 100% fiber internet. Ultra reliable, lightning fast. So everything you do online works exactly like it should.
Zach, go to bed.
Fiber up to Fidium. Get plans starting at only $30 a month at fidiumfiber.com.
Hey, Maine, think you're wicked smart? Well, put your knowledge to the test with me, Ken Jennings, on Jeopardy! Weeknights at 7:30 on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, folks. The Bangor Rams baseball team is back in the state championship game this weekend, and our Jack Webb caught up with the team ahead of their big day.
After that last pitch, going out to the mound, celebrating with everyone in that big huddle, it feeling like any other.
After 3 straight years of falling short in the Class A North title game, the Bangor Rams finally punched their ticket to a state championship on Tuesday.
For people that have been playing football and baseball, I mean, we've gone 0 for 5 and regional championships up that point. So to finally win one and progress on to the bigger stage, it's huge.
All of that early adversity paid off in this year's Class A North final when they found themselves down 2-1 early in the contest.
You come back, score 3 in 1 inning and then 1 later on. It was a great feeling.
I think they're just such a resilient group, too. You know, that's another unique thing about them.
The Bangor baseball program is one of the most storied in Maine, with 14 state championship banners hanging on the wall. Now that this era of Rams have gotten over the hump, they now have their chance to etch their own names into that history.
We've had a lot of teams before us come and, 4 in a row, 5 in a row, but we kind of just want to take one pitch at a time and kind of create our own legacy and hopefully get a banner up there.
Honestly, we go to the gym every day in school and we see all the banners hanging up on the wall and can only envision what it was like to be on those teams. It's great now to make our own mark and hopefully have our own banner up in the gym.
My grandfather played baseball here. My dad played baseball here. I mean, I got a whole lot of people in my family that were Bangor Rams, and so being able to, write my own page with the group of guys that I have now, I mean, it feels pretty cool.
He may give all the credit to the players, but a big part of the Rams' recent success is head coach Dave Morris, who's stepping down after 8 seasons at the helm. Morris says he just wants to soak up every moment from now until Saturday.
It's special. I mean, that's really, you want to get there, obviously, and you enjoy these last few days. And I think that's something that we said to each other throughout this whole playoff run is, you sometimes lose focus because you really want to win the whole thing, but you got to enjoy where you're at.
The Rams will take on top-seeded Gorham from the South. They may be underdogs in this one, but that's just how they like it.
I think the love that we have for each other is the biggest thing, and then also the grit that we have. We come into practice every day and work our butts off, and it's awesome. We got the grittiest team in Maine, so being here, being aggressive, and attacking every pitch like it's our last pitch helps us get it done.
That game's at 1 p.m. on Saturday down in Augusta. From Bangor, Jack Webb, ABC7, Fox 22 Sports.
We wish Bangor the best of luck this weekend. That is all the time we have for sports. Here's your full 5-day forecast.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Da Vinci Signs. From interior and exterior signage packages, and vehicle wraps to illuminated signs, LEDs, and electronic message boards, we're all about making your business visible with innovative signage designed for impact. Taking a look at those temperatures that we had today. It was cool out there for us, much cooler than where we have been at originally, and this is all because we've had a lot of rain, cooled air. We had showers and thunderstorms moving through all day today and lasting for much of the rest of the day for us. Fortunately, we got warmer weather on the way for us tomorrow. We're gonna be back into those 70s for us tomorrow, and then once again for us on Saturday, we'll be back close to 70 again. So tomorrow we're sitting in those mid 70s, and then we're back in those low 70s for Saturday, Sunday, back in the mid 70s for Monday. You kind of get the deal there. Then Tuesday, 68. Once again, we're back into those upper 60s. That doesn't last very long. We're back into those mid to upper 70s for next Wednesday and Thursday. Now, we do have a gale warning out there right now. It is gusty winds on the coastline, and we also have that small craft advisory as well. Those are both just to keep us all safe. And then we also have a tornado watch and a flood watch out there on the western portion of the state until this evening for all of this weather that's going through right now. Taking a look at those gusts, it is gusty winds out there over much of the state. We got gusts today into tomorrow of 25, 30, even up to 40 miles per hour along that coastline. Definitely very breezy out there. And of course, we're dealing with lots of rain, showers, and thunderstorms throughout much of our day today. Those are going to continue into finishing the rest of the day today, as it's part of this big, larger system that we are dealing with, and it's going to continue to cycle rain through for the next couple of days. So it'll move out of our area overnight tonight into tomorrow. More rain showers for us tomorrow, lighter end on those, otherwise mostly cloudy skies. And then we get more rain showers and thunderstorms likely for us on Saturday, continuing on into our Sunday as well. For tonight, we will have those scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing on into the early evening hours for us, with temperatures in those mid-50s. For us tomorrow, back into those mid-70s, much warmer than we were at today. Partly cloudy skies, and then we will have that brief shower or thunderstorm tomorrow. We do have that slight chance for tomorrow. Saturday, we're looking at temperatures back into the low 70s. With our Sunday, thunderstorm chances remain in the area for both of those days. Temperatures climb back into the mid-70s for us on Monday, with more thunderstorm chances, but then we're back into the 60s for us on Tuesday.
Thank you so much, Anna. And there is still more to come after the break.
When you work in disaster services, the phone rings at all hours. Knobscott Cleaning, can I help you? People appreciate hearing a real voice on the other end. Since 1976, that personal touch has set us apart. When disaster strikes, you just want your life back to normal. You want a reputable company, someone you can trust. We take care of things and give you peace of mind. I'm Jason Sear, owner of Penobscot Cleaning Services. 24/7, we're here for you.
Approachable, knowledgeable, likable, all around able. Visit a Frank Webb Home Showroom, where you'll find bath products, kitchen fixtures, and lighting solutions, as well as expert guidance on how to enhance your space with products you'll love. Personal service to help you find your personal style. Visit frankweb.com to find a Frank Web home, bath, kitchen, and lighting showroom near you.
Ever tried to make a cocktail? It's easy.
Who are you talking to?
Gather your ingredients.
How did you do that?
Grab your shaker.
Whose arm is that?
Add your gin, lemon juice, honey simple syrup, shake it all up. Strain, garnish, and there it is.
Wow, that looks amazing.
Maine Spirits makes it easy to be your own bartender. Find new recipes on mainspirits.com/cheers. See you next time.
See who next time?
Maine may be a small state, but we face big challenges, and Senator Susan Collins delivers solutions. When our veterans were left out in the cold, Susan Collins secured $3.6 million to help end veteran homelessness. And Collins co-sponsored the bill to protect military spouses' survivor benefits and provide rural veterans access to VA facilities. With her dedication, Susan Collins secures victories time and again for our veterans. Tell Senator Susan Collins to keep championing solutions for Maine's veterans.
People ask me all the time, does Lowry & Associates really get all of those clients, all of those big settlements? Yes, we do. And you know what else is true? I really am standing on top of this big truck.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the Cross Insurance Center. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, swim spas, and saunas in the region, with over 50 spas at up to 50% off this weekend at the Cross Insurance Center. Visit hottubshow.com.
Welcome back in, everyone. Here's one for all you movie buffs and social media stars. A supermarket in Brewer hopped on a social media trend, ahead of the release of Toy Story 5. Our Sam Miller shows us.
In anticipation of the theatrical release of Toy Story 5, employees of the Brewer Parody Shop and Save supermarket took to social media to have some fun. On Parody's Facebook page, they posted a video where someone off camera yells, "Andy's coming," and employees fall to the floor. The video is a parody of a running gag in the Toy Story franchise, where the toys fall to the ground and hold still to avoid being spotted by a human. Store manager Leanne Getchell says the video was a fun way to engage with the community.
We like to try to find different ways to connect with our customers online. I mean, if they see that we're posting just about food all the time, people probably scroll by. So we like to try to bring them back in just to let them know that, you know, we are here, we're real people, we like to have fun, and we get a lot of engagement from it.
The video has racked up 15,000 views since its posting, with comments praising the store for their sense of humor and wholesome content. Employee Cynthia Atwood says filming the video was like being in the movie itself, and she feels that they captured the spirit of the franchise, which was a childhood staple for people around the world.
Everybody was so happy after that. It was amazing. The whole atmosphere in here was lifted like 10%. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
Toy Story 5 arrives to theaters near you on Friday, June 19th. In Brewers, Sam Miller, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
What a great way to connect with a beloved animated classic, and of course, give it a local touch as well. Hats off to Parody Shop and Save for making us all smile. We sure do appreciate it. Well, that is going to do it for us, folks. From everyone here at ABC 7, take care, have a great rest of your night, and for more, you can join us over on Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
Tonight, the tropical storm on the move, bringing dangerous, life-threatening flooding as intense rain and tornado threats move east. Plus, the New York Knicks Championship Parade, the largest ever police presence for a planned New York event. World News Tonight with David Muir, the most watched newscast in America.
My grandmother was a nurse, and I really enjoy caring for people. Once I found out about the community college and what they offer, I felt that that was a sign that I'm able to become an RN in 2 years and receive a great education, a very hands-on education. Now that I am a nurse, I cannot picture myself doing anything else. I mean, the opportunities are endless. The world is your oyster as a nurse.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the Cross Insurance Center. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, swim spas, and saunas in the region, with over 50 spas at up to 50% off this weekend at the Cross Insurance Center. Visit hottubshow.com.
Tonight we do have breaking news. Tourists running in New York's Times Square. Late today, gunfire erupting in the heart of New York. A huge crowd of people running for safety, a massive NYPD response, and what they found. It comes as at least 2 million.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. Kaylee Brackett was convicted of murder in the death of 43-year-old Kimberly Neptune, who was found dead in her home with nearly 500 stab wounds back in April of 2022. Maine's highest court vacated that conviction, and a new trial was ordered. Brackett's lawyer says pretrial publicity and rumors in Washington County would make it impossible for Brackett to get a fair trial there.
In this case, the level of ill will and vindictiveness against Kaylee by members of the potential jury pool in Washington County is frankly over the top. The exhibits in this case demonstrate that from even